Hey, Lyoko Warriors, this is Captain Yeet here for you from the CodeLyoko episode review. This is going to be CodeLyoko Season 2, Episode 11, titled Common Interest Redo. So let's get into it. And I want to thank you guys so much for 700 subscribers. I remember when I only had 25 subscribers for half a year. I did not think I was ever going to get past 25 subscribers, so thank you so much. We're only going to go up from here. And I know I thank you guys already for 700 subscribers back when I did my One Piece manga chapter review last week for 1182. But after I uploaded the video, I kept thinking to myself, I probably have a different audience and different people that watch me for my manga and anime stuff, and a different audience that watch me for my cartoon stuff. So I kept thinking, oh, maybe the cartoon people didn't get to see me. Thank you guys for 700. So thank you guys here for 700. I was gonna say that at the Avatar review, but I completely forgot about it. And it's also been officially 1 month since I stopped showing myself on screen. What do you guys think? I want your honest opinions. I mean, do you guys think the videos are better? Do you think the videos are worse? I want your honest opinions. I know I stopped showing myself on the camera for my own personal reasons. Because when I first made this channel, I wasn't going to show myself at all. But I was a pretty dumb 13 to 14-year-old when I first made this because I remember I kept thinking to myself, how are they going to hear me if I don't sit directly in front of the camera? They can't hear me. My voice is going to come up on the camera. So I let the kid hear me. So I just been showing myself. But like I said, I think I said this one time. But the week before, no, actually the day before I stopped showing myself, but actually no, it was like a week before I stopped showing myself on camera. I kept thinking to myself, and it kept nagging me in the back of my head. I wasn't having a mental breakdown or anything, but it was nagging me in the back of my head that I'm not supposed to be showing myself. I'm showing myself. What am I doing? So that's when I started to not show myself. Now the original plan was to not show myself on camera for 1 week. For 1 week only, I was going to do that to see how the videos turned out. But I just kept going after that, and now it's been a whole month. It's been a whole month since I've been doing it. So you guys think the videos are better or worse? The only problem with not showing myself now on camera is I blurred my face out on a lot of different videos from my past. But the biggest problem is my episode reviews for like Danny Phantom, CodeLyoko, C-Rod, Teen Titans. Whenever I use the blur out feature on YouTube, when I turn my camera to the side so my TV, the blur out feature kind of glitches out and it just pops off my face. I can add multiple blurs, but it's kind of hard because I keep constantly turning my camera to show the TV. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Unless I can find a different avenue to take my face out, it's gonna be kind of hard. Now I did also think about deleting those old videos and just redoing them like I'm doing CodeLyoko. I have to do a CodeLyoko season 1 again since I saw my face up there, and that means I also gotta do CodeLyoko season 3 and 4 if I'm gonna do that. But a lot of those videos have a lot of good views up there, man. I don't know if I want to take them down. Like one of my most popular videos is Teen Titans season 2 episode I think it's 6, Date with Destiny. That's at like 1.5K, 1.6K. I mean, that's really good. And who knows when I'm ever gonna get those kind of views again if I re-upload them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And plus, besides that, that's a lot to do again. I mean, all of Danny Phantom, all of Teen Titans, all of Sierra again. I mean, my goodness, there's gonna be a lot to do. And I guess I wouldn't complain. I get to watch them again, but still, there's a lot to do. I don't know if I'm gonna get those kind of views again. I mean, maybe, but I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'll just think about it. For right now, I'm gonna stop showing myself for the time being. But I don't know. I guess I'll think about it. But anyway, let me get into the actual episode. Sorry for that long-winded thing. So the actual episode starts off with the theme song. After the theme song, we see this random convict in a police truck. His name is Peter Duncan. Now, it kind of makes it seem like he's going home because there's two police officers driving the truck. There's a male police officer and a female. And the male says, "Aren't you ready to go home?" So I was assuming, oh, he's coming out of jail and he's finally getting out. But I guess he could also just be calling jail his home. But while they're driving, Xana activates the little smack, the little black smoke cloud comes out, takes control of Peter Duncan. When he goes inside of his body, he starts to yell and scream, then he passes out. Now, in the police truck, there's like this little hole in the back. They can look at the prisoner and they can hear him and also see him, like, jump around, like, going crazy. Then he passes out. They have no idea what's going on, so they stop the truck. The male goes into the back of the truck, see what's going on. Now, Peter Duncan, he's Xanified. He's able to break out of his chains, grabs the police officer. Now, he could have just easily knocked him out. But no, Xana literally pushes him through the hole that you get to see the police officer through. Now, he doesn't exactly go through the whole thing, but look, he dents it and his head is coming out of it. And obviously, the female police officer is freaking out. Like, the police officer is freaking out, doesn't know what's going on. I hope Xana didn't kill them both. Hopefully, they're both okay. Oh, yeah, and before I continue, also, I do want to mention, at least to me, I think the videos are about the same. Obviously, you don't get to see my face and my hand movements and stuff that I usually do. But I think the videos are somewhat about the same. But the only thing I do like more about doing it like this is that whenever I turn my screen, I can show the whole TV. The whole TV can be shown. That's really good. I do like that. The only problem is the camera shakes a ton. Like the camera shakes a lot more since I'm not showing myself. So that's the only downside, at least to me. Or at least tell me in the comments what you guys think. So after that, we go over to Catholic Academy. When we go over there, specifically Yumi, Oric, and Odd are talking about what just happened. Now they weren't specifically there to see this, but there's a news article about Peter Duncan escaping from his police truck. And the real problem about this is, in the article, it says that it seems to be he was possessed. Well, actually, yeah, I guess the police officers are alive because they will have to be the ones to tell them about what happened. But anyway, it says it seems to be he was possessed. So they're like, oh, was this Xana? It could be Xana. Then Jeremy and Yumi walk up. Oh, no, sorry, Jeremy and Alita walk up, and Jeremy goes, "Nah, it can't be him because I just checked the super scanner and there's no tower activated. So I think it's all honky dory." Then the bell rings and they all have to go to, well, not all of them, besides from Yumi, they all have to go to a math class, take a math test. But when they're about to leave, Ada goes, "You know what? Is this Peter Duncan guy really that bad?" Jeremy goes, yeah. And he lists off like a whole laundry list of different stuff that this guy did. Yeah, he's pretty bad. Also, when they're about to leave to go to the math test, Alita, she holds her head. She seems to be in great pain. Obviously, they all ask her, "Hey, Alita, are you okay?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm fine. I just didn't get a lot of sleep last night." I don't know how not getting a lot of sleep equals holding your head in pain. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you just got a headache from not sleeping. I guess I don't know, but yeah, they're like, okay. I mean, I guess Alita's okay. She says it's okay. I guess it's okay. So then they all go to the math test. Now, when they get there, Odd, he's really nervous because he can't remember this one equation. So he asks Oric what it is. And the math teacher overhears this. And so she yells out, zero. He goes, "Oh, thank you so much, ma'am." He goes, "No." I mean, she goes, "No, it's zero if you keep trying to cheat on my test. That's the grade you're going to get." Oh. Sorry, ma'am. One, but again, then after like maybe less than 2 minutes, I think yeah, it's actually it is less than. I mean, we do see some time pass, but I think it's less than 2 minutes. Jeremy finishes his test. I mean, I know he's a super genius, but still, geez, man, less than 2 minutes because we see the teacher walk around. Then she goes to Jeremy. "Hey, are you okay, Jeremy? You're not doing anything." "Oh, I finished, man." What? Then we go over to Peter Duncan. He's walking around the woods. Then he passes out. Then Alita, she holds her head and then she passes out. But this isn't just a simple, pass out. You go to the infirmary. No, this is like a really serious. This is something wrong. Pass out to where they take her to the hospital. They bring her on the gurney. She goes inside of police. I mean, she goes inside of a hospital room. They take off. Well, obviously she still has clothes on. Sorry, that sounded kind of weird. But they put her in a gown. They're doing chest compression to hook her up to a heart monitor. Her heart rate's getting lower and lower and lower. Then eventually have to bring her the defibrillator. They're doing clear, get back. Her heart rate just keeps going down, and eventually she flatlines. I was like, oh my goodness, man. As a kid watching this, I was freaking out because Alita is one of my favorite characters in CodeLyoko. I like her really a lot. I like her a lot, and she was like, she just seemed to die right here. I was like, what? What is happening? Like, my goodness, I was freaking out. But eventually, after like a few seconds, like after her heart flatlines, after a few seconds, she just wakes back up. Her heart comes back, and also Peter Dinklage. I mean, Peter Dinklage. Also Peter Duncan. He wakes back up, and they're like, "Whew, oh my goodness!" Like this girl, she is a guardian angel. The doctor comes out, tells Lyoko warriors that it's okay to see Alita, but don't make too much noise. And when they all go to talk to Alita, they're assuming again, does this have anything to do with Xana? Now, Jeremy brings out his computer and sees that, well, there's no activated tower, but I can see by looking at the program, there's some sort of bug going on. I don't know what's happening. So here's the plan. All the boys are going to go to the factory and figure out what's going on, while Yumi, she stays here and talks to Alita and watches over her to have a little girl to girl talk. Okay, that seems about fine. Now all this is happening. Oh, I do want to show two little sweet scenes. One, when they were all like, over Alita to make sure she was okay. And two, it was really like a cute scene to where when Yumi says, "I want to just stay here with Alita walks over her and we can have a little girl to girl talk," where she just smiles really big. But while this is happening, we get the little montage of all the boys running through the sewers, getting to the factory. And I used to think about this. I completely forgot about this scene. But remember, I said this every now and again that I wonder how Alita and Jeremy get to the factory. Because as we know, during that montage, whenever they go to the factory, Yumi, Oric, and Odd, they have skateboards, and there's like three steps going towards the factory. Now, every time they go past these three steps, they either just jump over the three steps and keep it moving, or most of the time, it's like a little rail, a guardrail. They just grind on the guardrail and then they keep it moving. That's what usually what happens. So I always wonder, how does Jeremy get over that? Because he's not grinding on that. Jeremy's not about to do that. Are you kidding me? He can't do that. No, he just jumps over the three steps and lands. But in this episode, when we see him do that, he's gritting his teeth and he looks really scared. I'm like, Jimmy, what do you look scared for? You done this like 100 times. It's been like a couple months to a year since they've been doing Lyoko stuff. But I mean, I guess it's still nerve wracking to jump over three steps with your scooter. Come on, that's not an easy thing to do, especially for Jeremy. So I can understand him being a little nervous. But eventually, they all get to the factory. While this is happening, Peter Duncan, while he's being controlled by Xana, he finds this truck filled with Utonium. He takes out the guards and he grabs a case of Utonium with his bare hands, which is kind of wild. No, the Utonium is it's inside of like this case. So I guess it does make kind of sense that it's okay for him to grab it with his bare hands. But still, I don't care if it's like in a case. I'm still wearing a hazmat suit times two if I'm getting anywhere near radiation or plutonium. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm definitely wearing a suit. I am not getting anywhere near that junk. I'm wearing a hazmat suit times 10, boy. By the way, yeah, he takes out the guard and he takes the plutonium. After that, we go back to the factory, and Jeremy can see that, oh no, there's a bug in the system for the super scan. Well, over the auto worker, like, well, can you fix it? He goes, yeah, I can fix it, but I can't really tell right now if it's a big bug or a tiny bug. So this could take a long time, could take a short time. I was like, okay, okay, don't tell me all the science mumbo jumbo. How about this? If there's a quicker way to figure out there's a tower activated in that by just going to Lyoko. So Jeremy's like, okay. So he just sends Orc and Odd to Lyoko. When they first get there, they just look around from where they're standing. No activated tower. So what are we gonna do? He virtualizes their vehicles. They drive around for like 15 seconds and see an activated tower. So as soon as they see it, Jeremy gets the coordinates. Now he's gonna bring them both back so they can bring Alita here. But when that happens, the super scan, well, not the super scan, the little hologram that like shows up on the side of Jeremy whenever he activates CodeLyoko and stuff. I mean, not activates CodeLyoko, but whenever he turns on the computer and stuff, the little hologram just disappears. Then his computer shuts off. He's like, what the heck is happening? So he has to go down to the supercomputer to figure out what's going on. But Oric and Odd don't know that's happening. So they're yelling at Jeremy to bring them back. Nothing's happening. Like, what's happening? Then we go back over to Alita and see flatlines again. It was kind of funny. Not her flatlining, but it was funny what Yumi was saying. She was bringing up a story about how her little brother Hiroki said that he wants to be just like their dad when he grows up, which is sweet. But he says he wants to be just like his dad, but with muscles. That was that was a little funny. That was a little funny to me. But because the supercomputer shuts off, Alita flatlines again, and so does Peter Duncan. All the doctors rush back in. They keep doing chest compressions. Orc and Odd are really weirded out, but what's going on? Because they keep constantly yelling at Jeremy, but he's not answering. So they're like, okay, we're just gonna devirtualize ourselves. So Odd lights up Oric with a few laser arrows. He swings his blade. They hit each other, but nothing happens. Oric goes, oh man, the scanner must be offline. What is going on? And I was thinking about that. I was like, so if the scanners are offline and you can't get devirtualized, you just have infinite life points. So the life points only activated when you have, the scanners online. Because they're offline, how much damage can you take before you get devirtualized? Can you get devirtualized? And if you do, what happens? You're just kind of in the limbo paper state, while you until the scanners get turned back on. I don't know. We do get a really quick scene of Jeremy at the supercomputer. He's like turning it off and on, but it's not turning back on. Because you turn it off and on, it turns back on, nothing's happening. So he just keeps constantly doing it to reboot it. But while he's doing that, all of Lyoko starts to disintegrate. Like Orc and Odd look to the side, and the platform they're on is starting to disappear. They start to freak out, obviously, so they get on their vehicles and fly away. Now the platform they're on completely gets disappeared. I mean, completely gets that's how you say that. It completely disintegrates, and also the tower does too. So like, oh, does that mean the Xana activation just turns off? No, the Xana activation is still on, so I guess it still activates even when you destroy the tower. But they start to fly away. While they're flying away, their vehicles start to dissipate. At first, his Orc's vehicle dissipates, so Odd has to grab him. But eventually, his vehicle dissipates and about to fall into the digital sea. Eventually, finally, the supercomputer turns back on, it reboots, but when it reboots, the platform pops back up, so they're able to land back up there. And Jeremy notices that, wait a second, oh no, the Utonium battery, it's like nearly dead. Then he goes back to the hospital and tells the rest of the Lyoko warriors about this. Well, he tells everybody but Alita. Obviously, that explains why that explains why the computer and everything kind of shuts off randomly, and why Lita keeps passing out. The supercomputer Utonium battery is fading out. That's why she keeps almost dying, because she's connected to Xana. And the only way to fix this is to obviously get a new Utonium battery. I was like, okay, let's go get it. Jeremy's like, odd. It's Utonium. You can't exactly go to the cornerstone and buy that. It's Utonium. So how in the world are we gonna get that? And this is a really bad pickle we're in. This is a really bad dilemma. You gotta be kidding me. I'm getting a phone call. I gotta pause it. Hey, I'm back. Sorry about that. So while this is happening, while they're talking about the really hard dilemma at the end, that they need Utonium, but they can't get that, and if they don't, then Alita's going to die. Alita, she's overhearing this whole conversation. I guess they're talking like right outside of her door. I don't know why they're doing that, but they're talking like right outside the door, so she can hear this whole thing. While this is happening, Jeremy starts to feel so bad to where he's like, you know what, I need something to drink, so he walks off. This kind of same thing happened back in season one when Odd was in the hospital. Wasn't it Odd was in the hospital? Yeah, Odd was in the hospital doing killer music, and he was like, I can't handle this. I need something to drink. I guess that's like his coping mechanism, or he just like whenever something really bad happens, he needs to drink something. Anyway, while he's drinking some like hot coffee, Peter Duncan comes out of nowhere and grabs Jeremy. Then we go back inside of Alita's room. Odd tries to cheer her up, but she goes, "Don't do that. I heard everything that happened. You're not going to be able to get the Utonium." But then she flatlines again, or gets a phone call, and it's Jeremy. He's inside of the. That was really quick. They got to pretty quick, but he's inside the factory at the supercomputer wearing a hazmat suit. That's what I'm talking about. That's me. I would have I would have definitely wore a hazmat suit. Anyway, he calls Oric and he goes, "Hey, where are you?" Alita gets flatlined. Oh, okay, that figures. I just turned off the supercomputer. What? Turn that Joker back on! I can't. Xana took control of Peter Duncan, and he wants me to redo the supercomputer battery because he gets some Utonium. But the problem is, when I redo the battery, he's going to be woken back up at 100%, and he's going to try to kill me. So I need you guys to get a leader here and fend them off for me, so you guys can go to Lyoko. Okay, that makes sense. But man, Leah's heart can't take more of this, which is true. I mean, she's been flatlining and waking back up like what, two, almost three times now all day. I mean, that's pretty bad. I don't know. That's pretty bad for the heart. That is really bad. Oh, I forgot to mention they also brought up the idea that maybe Alita's like flatlining randomly for no reason because she's not really human. Maybe she can't handle the human body. That was an idea at first, but now they know it's Xana. Well, not just Xana specifically doing this on purpose, but it's the supercomputer itself dying, and she's also dying too because of the whole Utonium. I mean, because of the whole supercomputer dying thing. So after that happens, Jeremy he puts the Utonium back into the supercomputer, and Peter Duncan wakes up, but he's able to run into the elevator quick enough and turn it on before he's able to grab him. That's number one. Number two, the rest of the Lyoko warriors grab Alita and run out the hospital, and they're carrying her body all the way to the factory. I just know they're like, this is so wrong. This is so real. Like, this is bad, especially because they don't use return of the past. So, what was the excuse of the hospital? Because I'm pretty sure the school's the one paying for the hospital and stuff. Like, hey, she just kind of disappeared. Like, what? Like, I don't know what the excuse was. And they have to run through the city with Alita unconscious before Jimmy put the Utonium back in there. So they're like, hey, she's just asleep. She's fine. Come on. Like, we have to hurry to get to the factory. So the plan is for Odd, Alita, and Yumi to go inside the factory. I mean, to go inside the Lyoko, while Oric, he stays outside to help Jeremy fend off Peter Duncan. So that's the plan. They get sent to Lyoko. They can see the tower inside. A bunch of roasters to come out of nowhere and start to fight them. They destroy like maybe one or two roasters, but eventually they're like, you know what? We don't have time for this. We should just go ahead and go to the tower. So they get their vehicles and fly to the tower. But at the tower, there's two tarantulas, so that's gonna be a problem. Alita and Yumi distract one tarantula to follow them off to the side, while I fight the other tarantula. While they're fighting their tarantula, Yumi and Alita, the Peter Dunk is able to phase through the walls to get to Jeremy, but then Oric he runs up to fight him. I do like the line Oric says. He goes, "I love entertaining guests." Just a little cheesy one-liner, but that was kind of funny to me. But like I said, Alita and Yumi they're facing off against one Tarantula, and Tarantula shoots a few lasers and it destroys their vehicle. So now they're on foot. So now they have to fight the Tarantula on foot, but it's not too hard. I mean, it's still a tarantula. It's a little hard to get close to because it's shooting all those lasers. But the tarantula gets taken out by Yumi in a pretty cool way. She runs into the tarantula, does a front flip in front of it, throws both her fans, and then takes it out. That was pretty dope. That was pretty dope to me. I like that scene. Here's the scene right here. Actually, I should probably bring it. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go get the fan really quickly. This was a dope moment. Okay, I'm back. I got it. She brings out her fan. Yeah, yeah, I got it. I got it. She brings out her fan. I want both her fans, and then boom, slice it with it. I almost forgot she has two fans in season one and two. I completely forgot about that. I kept thinking of Orc. That's what I'm thinking of. He only has one sword now, but around season. Well, it was like near the end of season three, beginning of season four, when they got their new designs, and that's when he gets a second sword. I kept thinking that was the same thing for Yumi, but no, she already had two fans off rip. But here's a really cool scene where she jumps in the air, throws both her fans, then takes out the tarantula with ease. I mean, come on, that was pretty dope. That was pretty cool. I like that. So then eventually Odd, he's fighting against his tarantula. He's not able to fully kill his tarantula. He just keeps shooting at it, but eventually the tarantula knocks him off his overboard. Well, no, yeah, his overboard. Then eventually the tarantula shoots him and disintegrates him. And then we keep going back over to Peter Dinklage every now and then. Peter Dinklage, Peter Duncan. Sorry about that. We go back over to Peter Duncan every now and again. He beats up Oric, and eventually he goes over to Jeremy, grabs him, and starts to electrocute him. Then it's just Alita and Yumi against the one tarantula. Now, when they're facing off against the one tarantula, the tarantula shoots a few shots directly at Alita, and Yumi throws her fan, and it blocks the shots, which is pretty cool because usually it's Yumi holding her fan and it blocks the laser, like boom, 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 blocks it. But no, she throws it, and mid throw, it's blocking the shots while Lita's standing right in front of it. I mean, I know it's like a little simple scene, but little simple scenes like that are really cool to me. Like last week's episode when we saw Yumi throw both her fans out and it went inside the Marabuda sludge and it was just slicing through it. That was a little simple, quick scene, but it still looked really cool to me. Even as a kid, I'm like, oh wow, both her fans just cutting through it. Like I don't know why, but that was really cool to me, especially this scene right here too, where you see like boom, boom, like what? Come on, that was really cool to me. Anyway, Yumi said, Alita, you have to pull out all the stops now. And once he says that, she gets devirtualized. Then Alita starts to sing, creates a hole underneath the tarantula, it falls in the digital sea, it dies, she jumps over the hole, goes inside the tower, does CodeLyoko, everything's all hunky dory. And they don't do Return to the Past. We just fast forward to, them at Catic Academy. And I was thinking they were going to do Return to the Past my first time watching this because, since they don't, he escaped from his prison truck, stole Utonium, and like, yo, that's gonna give him. I mean, he's probably on the cameras too at the hospital. So let's say he had 15 years. Let's add another 15 of that. Escaping, stealing Utonium, and kidnapping a kid. That's another 15 on top of the 15 he got. No, they don't bring that up in the episode. They don't be like, oh, he got even more years. The only thing that happens is they're reading the school newspaper, and in the newspaper it says that he was found outside the police headquarters, just passed out. They have no idea how they got here. Obviously, Orc is like, well, we can't exactly tell them what happened. Starts to go into like this long speech about how like they're the unsung heroes, and eventually one day the whole world is gonna know what good deeds they've been doing, and they're gonna get the deserve. They're gonna get the praise that they deserve. But then Jeremy goes, Odd, the teacher gave me the math test answer. I mean, not the answer, but the math test results. He goes, really? What did I get? I'm like, why do you give Jeremy that? I mean, I know giving him his grade, but why did she show him everybody's grade? I don't know why she did that. But anyway, she's like, hey, I mean, he's like, hey, what did I get? He goes, oh, well, you got negative. Oh, not negative, but he starts to go like this really big math problem. I don't know why he did this, but he goes, oh, well, you just have to add 2001 divided by 68. Then you have to minus 2,290. He says a bunch of big numbers. He says you have to add, divide, subtract them. And after saying all that, Odd goes, oh, so that means I got 100? He goes, no, Odd, you got a zero. And they all laugh at him. I was like, what? And Yubi goes, you should get the unsung praise you should get for cheating. Yeah, I was like, yo, he could have just easily just said zero. He didn't need to do that whole tirade with all the numbers. But it also brings into question. I guess he cheated because he said that you'll get zero if you cheat again. Now, while the test was going on before Jeremy says he was done, you do see a really quick scene of Odd glancing over at Org's paper. So I guess the teacher could have saw that and saw him cheating. Now, it was a really quick scene. It happened for like maybe a split second. You do see him glance at Org's paper. So I guess that wasn't cheating. And he got a zero because of it. Dummy boy, dummy. I mean, that was always odd, but that's still really funny. And then that's the episode for you guys today. So like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all later. Thank you all for watching. I thank you all other women human beings, and I see you guys next time. All right, and yeah, also please tell me in the comments what you guys think about the videos so far. Do you think they're better or worse now that I'm not showing myself for the time being? Please tell me. And yeah, that's about it. Bye bye. All right.